Why is real estate the best investment you can make? When it ain't the best.
Oh, yes, it is.
I say yourself is and yourself is the best.
That's true. So I agree. So to Preston's point, invest in yourself, and same thing with when you learn from other people or you read a book, because an investment in knowledge will pay the best interest. So if you're watching this is Preston. A lot of people have been asking me, who is he? What's he's about? Was he rich when he met me? A lot of people ask me that. Did it take a lot of money to do real estate of your own? No. And so Preston invested in himself. He's read books. He's been to seminars, and we've both done that. Like, we've invested in ourselves for years now. And what a lot of people don't understand is, like, how could someone go from $0 to 27 rentals in less than 8 months? And it's because you invested in yourself. And I guess kind of start from the beginning on, how did you invest in yourself? Where did you start with?
Rich Dad Poor Dad book. I think it cost me like $7, and after reading it, I don't know, I really felt that book, because me and the writer like pretty much have the same story. Well, I don't know, just something.
I understand.
But he talked me into getting rid of my liabilities. All it is assets and liabilities. The poor and middle class pretty much buy liabilities. When the rich, they buy assets. Assets make you rich.
Correct.
They put money into your pocket. Liabilities take money out.
So you started with Rich Dad Poor Dad. If I'm not mistaken, you went to a seminar. Was it in Fort Smith?
Well, that was a while ago. I got into the Rich Dad Poor Dad about 3 years ago. And then I was just trying new stuff. I was just trying to figure out. I did social media marketing, credit, just sales. I learned a lot with that. And I don't know, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do.
Right. So
But I don't know why it took so long to get into real estate.
So it's that process of discovery. Like, you throw a couple things against the wall, and eventually something's going to stick. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is, like, it does take some time. And really, it's not so much about time, it's about the right knowledge. Because we've worked together now for 8 months, and when we met, you can talk if you want, but was your credit perfect? Was your score like 740 plus?
It was about, that was really like my second investment was credit. But it was 800 something.
Awesome. So Preston uses it, and this is important, because if we're going to do real estate, you need cash and you need credit. Doesn't have to be your cash, doesn't even have to be your credit. There's ways to do this. You can rent credit, you can buy credit, you can fix your credit, you can borrow the cash, you can use your own cash, you can use other people's money. But you got to have these things. To try to go buy something without cash or credit is ridiculous. You know, hey, mister, I want to buy your property, I'm going to pay you with a smile. You know, that's not going to work. They're going to laugh at you. So Preston invested in himself. He learned and got better at what he did. And then, I guess, what was the next step in that process of you kept investing in yourself, and we both do. Oh, we got a visitor. Oh, this is Scarlett, my little daughter. Can you say hello, Scarlett? Hey, I got a question for you. What is an asset?
It takes you money.
Are you sure?
No.
What's an asset?
It gives you money.
Gives you money, that's right. What's a liability? What's a liability?
It takes your money.
Takes your money.
Yeah.
What's rental real estate?
It gives you money.
Gives you money. What's a business?
It gives you money.
Gives you money. What's the bank?
Gives you money.
Gives you money, that's right. And
That's
so,
a lot of money.
oh yeah, she's gonna learn from a young age, hopefully. And let's talk about, so you've learned, you invested in yourself. What was the next step then after you invested in yourself? Because you tried some things and they worked, didn't work.
They worked, but it wasn't, I didn't really like it, so I wasn't really inspired. And like, I made money pretty much everything I did, but it was just like, I really don't want to do this. So, because I learned some stuff with the credit cards, just how to make money with the credit cards. But I just didn't like it. But the real estate is just too easy, and the amount you're getting real estate's the best investment you can invest in.
Did you catch that? Credit cards can make you money. I don't understand how that works. Could maybe you explain it to me? Because I know a bunch of ways, but maybe some other people watching. How could you make money on a credit card?
I don't know if I should. I mean, it's legal.
Yeah,
But
I mean, there's lots of ways.
Only thing you get told no. But I mean, you just keep asking until they get told yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's everything.
What about borrowing money at 0% interest for 2 years on a credit card, using it to go pay cash for a property and rent that property out, and then go scoop money back out of the bank and then pay the credit card off, and now you got a loan, but you paid cash for it. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can use credit cards to get rich.
Oh yes, that's the thing about real estate. You can be so creative in real estate. It's so many different options.
Correct.
Anytime we run into a roadblock, is okay. What can we do?
Let's talk about some of those roadblocks, because a lot of people don't understand that, like, you're gonna get disappointed at times. So when we first started, we looked at a fourplex, made the offer, had it under contract, and how that was going, and then what ended up happening. And I'll kind of talk about that a little bit.
I was looking at a property and I got the appraisal from last year and it was real high, and then so I got the price like a lot lower. And then when I got it appraised again, it ended up appraising for the low price that I got it for.
Actually, priced for less.
Yeah, a lot less.
Remember? And so I was excited about it. Preston was disappointed, but I'm like, do you realize they just gave you like an extra $20,000? Because if you can buy it for pennies on the dollar, that means your payment is super cheap, and then your rent is up here. So that in between mark, it's all profit. I'm like, that's great, and it's all in how you look at it. Like, yeah, it didn't appraise for as much as we wanted, but that means that they had to lower the purchase price even more on top of what we had already kicked them in the head for. So we would have got it even cheaper. And on top of that, like, our cash flow would have increased. So it was a blessing. Then the seller said, no, I ain't going to sell it to you. This too cheap. And so we ended up not buying that. And then we ended up going to 25 doors on something else. So a lot of people ask me that too. They're like, so did you come from money? Were you raised rich? Like,
everybody around me always worked, so I mean, I've always been able to I've always gotten whatever I wanted. But then I got to where it's like the stuff that I wanted, it was so much, I want stuff that costs millions and billions of dollars, so
I understand.
This is about to do it. Real estate, at first I was wondering how I was going to make millions of dollars, and now I'm trying to figure out how I can make $1 trillion. I'm not even worried about $1 million anymore, if we're being completely honest.
I love it. And that's very true, because I'm sure as you found, like, my love is seeing other people do well. Like, I love the fact how well you're doing today and how you went from no rentals to 27 rentals in 8 months. Your bank accounts have increased, your income has increased, your multiple sources of income has increased, your knowledge, your confidence. I mean, in every way, you've gotten better. You're not the same person. Like, when I met you around, I guess it's December-ish time frame, something like that. I think we met in person about that time. You were totally different back then. Like, and we sat at Starbucks and went through things, and you started to say that, this could work, because then you start getting to a point you're like, well, that's only $100,000 and this is only $1 million. And what I'm saying is, I enjoy helping other people to become in that $1 million status club, because we're getting close. Like, it's not going to take that long. And Preston started, he didn't come from money, he didn't come from great means, and neither did I. And what you'll find is $1 million going to be enough?
It's $3 million in medical bills out there.
Yep.
So
$1 million today, with the way the world is not even a big deal anymore. And what you will find is you're going to want to move to that hectomillionaire mark. You're going to want to hit 10 million or 100 million. So what happens is you start to realize that in order to get the things you want, let's say it's a Lamborghini and your monthly cost is $2,000. That's not a big deal. Go pick you up some rental properties that throw off $4K gross, they net you $2K. You got a Lamborghini, it's not a big deal. But what happens, and even the way that we talk about that, like, you're at a point now, I'm not going to share your business, but Preston's at a point now to where he could do some things. And most people that look rich are what we call fake rich, because they have liabilities. You know, and that's like a lot of people don't understand myself because I don't show it in the sense of like now people know because of YouTube and stuff like that. But I don't really care if people believe me or not, or if you believe that Preston has 27 rentals or not. You know, I've got the paperwork to prove it and the numbers and the bank accounts to prove it. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter to me. Like the time I spend with my kids is the reason that I do it, because here we are today. I'm home with my kids. Preston's able to come hang out with me, and we can pretty well do whatever we want. My wife and other daughter and family are on vacation. But I guess the next thing is, Preston, let's talk about these new rentals, because they've seen the 25 unit trailer park. You're picking up 2 more. How much money is that going to cost you?
Probably zero.
And up to maybe
At most, maybe 5-6 grand.
And also, depending on how all this plays out with the options, it's extremely possible, we're waiting on some numbers to come back, that Preston will get paid. Like Preston's going to get a $6,000 to $7,000 check to buy rentals. Did we catch that? Most people pay to buy rentals, but you will get paid. Like the day you close, you're going to get a check to buy something. And that's very fun. I've done that a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, most people are like, I gotta put 20% down. That's not always the case. That's in fact probably not even maybe the right way to do it, depending on the deal. Sometimes you may want to,
Yeah.
but he's gonna more than likely get a check to buy 2 more rentals, and now you'll have 27. And can we discuss, you know, this will be the first time that Preston has broke the 100+ K a year. Actually, it's a lot more. So he's gonna go from making what he was making before to making, you know, many.
Yeah, triple. You know, almost more than triple. Not triple. Yeah, a little over triple.
So that's so much fun, man. We've got, you know, Preston's got perfect credit now. He's got some money in the bank, multiple sources of income, multi 6-figure income, and all this started with just like the ability to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And then trust someone who has done this before. Like, if you're going to go to a surgeon and say, hey, I need a C-section to have a baby, and that surgeon says, I've never done that before, like, I've never done a C-section, you know, you probably wouldn't want that person to operate on you, right?
Right.
So in real estate, like, I've done real estate quite a bit, and when Preston and I met, he was like, you know, maybe we learn from someone who's done it more, and then that way they can do it correctly. Because
yeah, I feel like if I didn't invest in myself, whenever I met you, I probably would have just, that guy's full of it.
mm-hmm.
But since I knew, I could tell.
Yeah, and do we think that we would be at this point today if we hadn't done it this way? Like, do you think you would have been able to do it as fast if you did it on your own?
Not as fast. I would have gave up on this on these $25 because when I talked to banks, they were all pretty much telling me maybe I should start off with 1. I ain't gonna be able to get it. They basically were just telling me I wasn't gonna be able to get the deal, and I got it. So
yeah, and that's
can't
true.
listen to everybody.
Let's talk about that. We did try to use some commercial debt on the mobile home park, and they told us what?
No.
They said no. We're like, okay, bye-bye bank, we don't need you. Guess what? We've got 14 of them, and guess what? If they piss me off, we get another one, you know, and that's kind of what happened. So it's like, don't get disappointed. Like, if it doesn't work for the first option, use your other 5 options.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what ended up happening. And so,
Or 10 options.
yeah, 10 options. In one move, I want some people to understand this. In one move, Preston has radically changed his life. He became financially independent. He could be retired. He could never work the rest of his life and just chill out. But it's going to come down to standard of living.
Yeah.
Some people say, you know, hey, if I had money, I wouldn't work anymore. And that may be true, but a lot of times that's why they don't have any money, because they're not willing to do what it takes to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think you're going to stop now?
Oh no, I'm speeding up.
I love it. What are we going to end up by the end of the year? And so, you know, you've been causing me some problems. I don't know if I've told you this. I had someone call me. I'm joking. So what happened is someone called me. They're like, I got 7 rentals in 7 months, and he got 25 in 6 months. And I'm like, why are you complaining? You got 7 rentals and had none before we met. And he wasn't actually complaining. It was a joke. But I'm afraid to see you put too much gas and to help you too much further, like, because what's going to happen is people are starting to wonder, like, man, you know, if he did 27 in 8 months, and you'll probably catch 40 or 50 before a year's up, and maybe a little faster or longer. I mean, it's about the deal. You know, don't rush into something stupid. Buy something exceptional. Let's like this one in Oklahoma. Let's talk a little bit about how you're arranging that debt. So we talked about it's completely financed, and then we've discussed, you know, what's a way you could also increase the cash flow on it.
I could make the term longer, the mortgage a lot longer, and that's gonna take the payment down. And I could also have them. Most banks they won't do 10, especially on mobiles, or they won't do 20. They won't finance for 20 years on mobiles, but there's somebody that will. Somebody does.
So if they're going to term him at 10 years, and let's say your payment is just for the sake of numbers $300. If you go to 20 years, now your payment becomes in the $100 range, and when your rent is 10x that, it's a no-brainer. Like, sign a piece of paper, 100% finance the deal, get a check back, get profits every month. I mean, this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it allows you, since you did that, if you get paid on the front end from it, plus you have make profit every month on it, we can leapfrog into another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm scared to keep teaching Preston to keep working with him, because if you're watching this and you do decide that you want to work with us and you want to learn from us, by all means, we can help you. And we want to radically change people's lives. My goal is to help people be rich everywhere. And same thing with Preston. Like, it's not just about money. There's another side to this. It's about rich time with your family, you know, rich in time with helping other people, rich in love, rich in health. That's a big one too, because it doesn't matter if you have all the money in the world and you are too ill to spend it, you know. But our goal is to eradicate poverty and help people to live a rich life in general. You know, my little daughter is part of this video today, and some people may not understand that, but she's part of my life. And the reason that we chose to do these things is, like, I knew I wanted to spend time with my kids. In fact, I've heard it said two ways. I've heard people say, oh goodness, oh, come here. I've heard people say that I'm poor because I have you kids. Well, that's not really fair. And I've also, you know, the way I look at it is I'm wealthy because I have my kids, because they, you know, I want to spend time with them and go on vacation with them and play babies. And same thing with you, you know, you're going to want to help your grandma. You want to help your mom. You want to help the community, and, you know, endeavor to build out the parks that the kids play on, and teach someone, you know, teach someone else this, whether it be your cousin or your brother, because this is generational. What you learn, you can use forever.
Yeah.
This isn't like you do one deal and you're done. You could be. I mean, you became independent in one deal. You know, that's so funny, man. It's just, it's crazy to me how quickly your life can change, because when you made the decision, you took action, and you just went for it, everything changed for you.
Yeah.
You know, and this year, are you going to end up, have you decided, do you want to lease a vehicle? Do you want to buy one? Have you figured it out?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna lease one.
So,
yeah, with the lease, you basically lease it for free. I mean, you get your money back on your taxes. So
you can pay the government or pay yourself.
Yep. That's just like everybody talking about raising the taxes on the rich. You can't raise the taxes on somebody who doesn't work. We're gonna raise it on everybody.
Correct. And I think a lot of times what people don't understand is the system is what it is. I'm not saying it's fair or not fair, but we play within the rules of the game, but we understand the game and we use it to our advantage. And, you know, you're not going to probably change it, and maybe you can, but if the rules are established and if you do the right thing, the rules are there to benefit you in certain ways. Like, the government wants you to invest in housing. They want you to have rentals. They want you to invest in food, in businesses, and create jobs. And if you do those, you pay no tax. But if you do what the government does not want you to do, you stay an employee, you consume only, like you just go buy stuff. I mean, you're going to pay sales tax, you're going to pay tax on your income, tax when you die. The government doesn't want that. by investing in real estate and business, you build America. I mean, you're creating jobs and housing and all these wonderful things in industry, and they don't make you pay taxes. And at least if you do pay, it's a tiny percentage, and it's whatever you want it to be. You can adjust that. You have the option. You know, it's in his control now of what he wants to do and the destiny he wants to set.
Yeah.
So, I guess, what's next then in this story for you?
I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm focused on my end goal, but yeah, I'm just letting everything come to me. Really, like I wasn't even looking for these deals I'm about to get. People bring them to me.
That's right.
So I'm just living life, having fun,
And you should.
and going to work. I mean, I'm working. I stay at work.
But I guess in closing, is there anything that maybe we wanted to tell people in terms of like, if they can do it, is it worthwhile to invest in real estate, invest in yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if you want more. I know it ain't for everybody. I talk to a lot of people. I basically show them how to do a lot of stuff, like the credit deal with the free, how to get money from credit. I basically say I give somebody some money, but they don't want to do anything. If I say, only thing you gotta do is show up here, whatever time you want, just show up here, and I show you everything. They probably ain't gonna show up. Half of them don't show up. 80, maybe even 80.
That's sad. And
It is. It hurts, but
and that's
everybody
very
wants
true.
help.
What you just raised is a good point. So this isn't for everybody. I know some people don't understand it, and it's for whoever wants it. Like when I met you, I knew you wanted it, and I was like, okay, he's obviously going to do it. And like I'm a very firm teacher. I'm sure Preston figured that out in terms of like, you know, we either will or we won't. And then like if I had a sack of $1 million and I said you got to be at the hospital tomorrow at 12 o'clock on the dot, and I'll give you a sack of $1 million. I guarantee you people would show up for that. But if I said that like I can give you the tools to take, you know, make $1 million, make that sack look like garbage, and say here's how you can get $10 to $20 million, and I'll teach you how to do it, but you got to show up at 12 o'clock tomorrow. As soon as you start to mention, oh, there's going to be some work involved, there's going to be some learning involved, a lot of people will quit. And
Yep.
how many times have we seen that? And I think that's what's important about having like a coach or a mentor, because when you have disappointments, you push through them. You know, fourplex doesn't work out, no big deal. Maybe the bank tells us no on the mobile home park, and it's like, okay, that's disappointment, but it's okay. You just keep pushing through and you keep going. And when you have a team and people around you that can help you, it's not that difficult. Like, did you find like it hurts you, I guess, emotionally temporarily, but by having someone to work with you and say, look, here's some other options, it's not the end of the world. Was it that ability to just keep moving forward?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, that's just temporary defeat.
Yeah. And a lot of people are afraid to fail. You know, we fail and we learn from it. We should. You know, that's the key in all of this, is learn from failure. I've failed a lot. You know, and here's the other thing. In failure, I made money every single time. You know, but the question, what really happens when I have a coach and a mentor is like, I would be 10 to 15 times richer today if I knew today what I needed to know 12 years ago when I started. And my mentor, Dr. W, he's told me this story, and I may have shared this with you before. He says, look, I'll give you $100 million today, but there's going to be some conditions. You'll be my age with my money, and I'll be your age with nothing, but I had to keep my knowledge. And I was 19 when he told me this, and he's in his 60s, and I said, you know what? That's an awesome trade. I want $100 million, you know, I'll trade with you. And he just laughed, and he's like, you know, I got the better end of the deal because I could make it back 10 to 100 times faster and easier. And with where we are today, we could go back in time. Like I could rewind 10 years ago and I could start negative 200K, and I would gladly do it if I got extra 10 years because I know how much faster you can scale it up. Mm-hmm. And now that, and Preston is so young, I mean, he's 26. You're gonna have 27 rentals on your 27th birthday. Actually before then.
Yeah. The craziest thing about it, if I could go back to like 13, I could have done this at 13.
Yep.
I could have done something. I could have got started. Or probably 16. I don't know, it really don't matter.
Yeah.
It could have been 13. Meet the right people.
You could have. And help our children, you know, invest in your grandkids and your kids and your community and help other people. And I hope at the end of this, the last thing I want to send is some love to people to say that, look, me and Preston come from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, but we care about each other, and we want to spread that message of hope and love and prosperity to all, because my goal, like I said, is to help other people be rich everywhere. Let's love our community, let's love each other, because at the end of the day, this people are going to get you where you want to be. You ever heard people are problems?
Yeah.
Well, if that was true, then everyone's a problem and I'm a problem, But if we flip that and say that, people are important, people are valuable, and that we should value them and invest in them and love them. This isn't for everyone, but at the same time, I hope that we can spread a message of hope and love, and that you can do this too. And in closing, Preston, do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just mindset. That's the biggest thing, is mindset. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't.
That's true. Well, we'll see you later, and as always, please give back and help other people. Oh, like the video and subscribe, please, and we appreciate it. Thank you.